Hello, this is the Timeless Tarot, and in today's reading we're going to be looking at Aries and what is in store for you in terms of love. Right, so I've put out a spread and let's start with the bottom of the deck, and we have got, ooh, interesting, a message coming in. The pages are always some sort of communication. Page of Wands is, what should be good news coming in. I think I'm going to see what else is behind it actually. Oh, right, extra good. Definitely some good news coming in. That's something you've been working on, I think, something you've been trying to bring into being. The Magician is the card of manifesting. It's interesting because I like to do these readings in pairs, really. And manifesting was at the bottom of the Libra reading, and Aries and Libra are opposite signs, and I often feel the energy between opposite signs is shared, and this is very much the case here. It's not that you and Libra have the same things going on exactly, but the general energy is similar, so I'm not that surprised to find the Magician at the bottom of the deck. What's different here for you is that I think there is something you've been waiting to hear in order to really get things moving, and that's what this Page of Wands is talking about. So it could be that you've been waiting to hear from somebody that maybe you're in a relationship with, or you have been in a relationship with, or you are secretly in love with, or even not secretly in love with. That's what that feels like to me. Something is slightly niggling me though, and that is that I want to see the next card. Okay, right, now I've seen the next two. This is something to do with moving yourself on from what was a heartbreaking situation. And I do think that this is all to do with somebody else. You're waiting to hear from somebody. I think you've been trying to move yourself on from a heartbreaking situation, trying really hard, and I think to some extent you've achieved that. But there is a part of you that is waiting to hear from somebody else, and that is slowing down your general progress, I feel. Anyway, we'll see as we go along. What's at the centre of the reading? Yeah, this is a card of lack. You haven't got what you want. This is not you in your best energy at all, especially not now. We know it's got something to do with heartbreak, and this is a love reading after all. So really, you've been sort of despondent really in the waiting for some sort of news that has not come in yet, and potentially you've been trying to manifest it in and it still hasn't come in, and you're feeling like, well, what's the word? Disappointed. You're feeling disappointed. It feels to me like there was a hugely significant partnership that has not come into being, and it's left you feeling like you've got really very little. That's sad, isn't it? What is crossing this feeling is the Chariot. Well, the Chariot is the card of almost moving. It's not really moving yet. It's a card of change, but it's a card of nearly change rather than actual change. The Chariot's primed and ready to go, but it isn't actually going yet. And this is the problem. This is what you're waiting for. You're waiting for a signal or a sign or a message from somebody else in order to get things moving. This feels quite frustrating. You can see in this card as well, the Six of Swords is moving on to something better, but it's with another person. There is a person here helping. This is very much a case of you are waiting to hear from somebody, and for whatever reason, they haven't got in touch yet. I wonder why that is. I think perhaps we'll take a clarifier for that. Why is the Chariot not moving forward yet? Why has that person not got in touch? It does feel, well, it's interesting. They've been working on themselves. I think probably you've been working on yourself as well. I mean, the Sun is the best card in the deck. There's no question about that. They've been working on themselves to make themselves better is what it feels like. Maybe they didn't feel like they were good enough for you. or the situation was such that they weren't right for you. They couldn't be right for you. Maybe they had to get out of a situation before they could get into a proper relationship with you. That feels like it might be a thing for some of you. And so they've been working behind the scenes to try and move things forward. And if that's the case, they are succeeding. So if they are succeeding and we've got the Sun, what is slowing down communication? I mean, maybe nothing is slowing down communication. Maybe communication is coming right in. I suppose this was the bottom of the deck after all. Now we've got a clarifier of the Sun. I feel like, and the Magician, it seems to me that communication is coming in if you've been waiting for it. Well, that's good news, definitely. There's no way we can view this as a negative because the Sun just is very positive. Great. That's a good start then. I was feeling quite frustrated and despondent for you. And this is Leo energy. This is sort of expansive, generous. This is a wonderful, warm, all-encompassing energy. This is one of your sister signs. So whatever they've been working on and whatever you've been working on, things are improving. For some of you, you may have been working on finances. For some of you, I think this is a health issue. It could be a negative job situation as well that you've had to work really hard at improving or changing, in fact. Maybe you've worked out that you can't improve the situation you're in and so you're changing it. That could be a thing. And for your person, they've been improving themselves in order to come forward is what it feels like. Wow, brilliant. What's crowning the situation, or what's obvious to everyone, is that you're broadening your horizons and you're in a good place. I mean, really, you're going to be in a very good place. You're currently feeling, let's go back to the middle here. These two cards are not the same energy. This is feeling frustrated and despondent. This is feeling hopeful and broadening your horizons, looking further afield. So potentially you might have given up on this connection, although I don't think in an obvious sort of way, it might look to other people that you've given up and you're moving on to something else. But I don't believe that's the case. I believe that that you are still heartbroken and that you can't let it go. Even if you're trying, I don't believe it's possible for you to fully let go. It's had a very big impact on you. What's underneath, or what is hidden, is interesting. We had the Three of Wands on the what's crowning the situation. What's underneath is the Two of Wands. You're sort of, I mean, here, it sort of goes with what I was just saying. Here, you're expanding your horizons and looking out into the world. Here, you're sort of feeling like you should look out into the world and see what else is there. But it's a sort of reluctant energy. You're reluctantly looking out into the world for something else. And I took two clarifiers for this Two of Wands. And we've got Death and the Six of Pentacles. And so the reason you're reluctantly looking for other people is because the situation you were in either was not reciprocal, or, now the thing is, I've got to be careful how I phrase this, because I believe it was reciprocal in strength of feeling, but I don't believe it was reciprocal in terms of wanting to move into an actual relationship together. I think it's entirely likely that you were happy to move into a relationship, whereas the other person was not quite sure. And I wonder if maybe that's changing. Perhaps they've decided, yes, they have, because this is progression. We start with the Five of Pentacles, which is just a very despondent energy of lack and despair. And we're moving forward to the Six of Pentacles, which is a shared appreciation and a sharing of values and reciprocal energy. So I believe if that was the case in the past, that it was a bit one-sided, or that only you thought it was possible to move things forward, I believe that is changing. And I believe that's definitely changing, because what came with it is death, and death is a massive change. Death is an inevitable change. What I actually think has happened is that although you felt heartbroken by the loss of this connection. You've had to put it behind you and move on. You've had other things going on. I think some of you have not been very well, and I think some of you have not been having a good time at work, is probably the easiest way of putting it. So you've had other things to focus on, which you've done, and you've tried to take your attention off of the heartbreak. I actually think it's been the other way around for your person, and I think the heartbreak is hitting them harder and harder all the time. And I think the harder it's hitting, now they realise they actually do want to be with you, that is bringing about an inevitable change, because they can't maintain the distance any longer. And I know that for an absolute fact, because in the past position we had the card of true connection. So you didn't imagine the connection. Do you know what? I think you actually manifested it. Not only did you not imagine it, you manifested it. You manifested the true connection that you want, that you've wanted for a long time, is what I feel like saying. A connection that maybe you've never felt before. A strength of feeling that took you by surprise and sort of held you captive in a way, because you've not been able to move on from it. And the other person, do you know, I feel like they might have just taken a bit of a chance on you. They might have thought that it could just be a bit of fun. You might be somebody they thought about off and on and had never really got together with, and suddenly thought, okay, yeah, now the time is right. I think for you it was a much bigger deal initially, but I think for them now it's very clear that there is nobody else like you in the world, and they are going to get back in touch, I think, because the strength of this is such that in the future, this is a very serious card. If you've been in, or you've had some sort of connection that absolutely knocked you off your feet, and it was really serious. It still is really serious. This wasn't a pretend feeling. No wonder that you and the other person have both been feeling heartbroken. No wonder there's going to be an inevitable change to the situation. And no wonder we're going to have a marvellous outcome, even though currently things are feeling pretty gloomy. No wonder, because if you've got the true connection in the past, in the future, you've got what looks like a marriage. And I mean, that might not be something that all of you want, but it's actually talking about the strength of the connection here. This is a very serious connection that you've made with someone, and they are going to reconnect with you. I would like to know when, however, because it feels to me like this situation has been going on for a little while. Right, let's get a clarifier for... Oh, I've just left a card behind. That's interesting. Yeah, I think they might be taking a leap of faith in the future. Somebody wants to take a leap of faith into a future with you, a serious connection. So can we have a clarifier for the Hierophant and the Fool, please? Oh, yeah. Yes, so this is a serious situation that's potential to bring a great amount of joy into your life. There's a leap of faith that's required. I don't believe it, perhaps it's from both of you, but I think more from your person. But the leap of faith is necessary in order to bring this connection about properly, and to bring forth the joy, the strength of connection that it actually is. This is why I know it's going to happen, because although there's a leap of faith required, it's too good to leave behind. It's just too good. There really is no point trying to leave it behind any longer. I mean, I wonder if for some of you, maybe it was difficult to connect fully in the past. Perhaps somebody had to get out of a marriage or something, or another relationship, and it was all a bit tricky and difficult, something like that. I think though that the moving forward, it has to change. I mean, literally that's 3 months, but it could be October. And this reading is for the next 4 to 6 weeks. If I didn't say that at the start, I should have done. We'll see a bit more about timing as we go on. In the personal position, yes, what I was saying before, feeling stuck. you're being held against your will in terms of a situation that won't let you go. That's what that feels like. You can't let it go. It won't let you go. It's making you miserable and you're struggling to move on from it. That's what that's like. But you are going to manage to move on from it because we're manifesting. In the home position, I'm not surprised to find this. This is the Twin Flame card. We've already got the True Connection card. We've already got the Sun and the card of happiness. You know, that it's too much of a connection for it to be lost. So interesting thing is that it's in the home position. I mean, obviously you want the connection at home, but it's more than that. For some reason, the connection was not at home, couldn't be at home. And so something is changing in regard to that. Something is changing in regard to the home position in order to bring this connection back around, I think. Let's take a clarifier for that. Why do we have the Four of Wands in the home position? Yes, a change. A change is coming. This is an inevitable change. This is like a tying up of loose ends. The World is a card of change, but it's a very neat and tidy change. This is coming full circle on something. So if the living arrangement was what was holding back if the living arrangement was what was holding back the connection, then that is changing. Or rather, that has actually changed already, I think. Something has changed in terms of the living arrangements. That means that things are going to be easier moving forward. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised about that because this connection is such. Yeah, here we are. There's communication coming. This is our second communication card. You're going to hear something about a change to do with the living arrangements of one or both of you. Yeah, and I just really want to say it's about building a change, but I'm not quite sure what building a change refers to, because that's the home position. So we're going to have communication about, I don't quite know what that means. Change or a change of building. Maybe one of you's moving house and that is going to make all the difference. A change of building, yeah. Or you could even be moving countries. One of you's moving home and that's going to make it a lot easier. So actually it could be that one of you's moving closer to the other and that will make it work. That'll make it easier to be connected because you could have been living on opposite sides of the world. So it could be that one of you's moving closer to the other person. Or it could be that one of you's moving out of where they've been living and moving somewhere that's better, means that it'd be easier for you to connect. It's something like that. The hopes and fears position, wow, wishes coming true. I mean, literally, we've got the two best cards in the deck here. So if you're still feeling despondent at this point of the reading, I urge you to leave that feeling behind because it's definitely everything's going to be slotting into place. If you are hoping for the best, you're going to get it. If you're hoping for communication from somebody that you've been in a strong connection with, you're going to get it. If you're fearing that all your dreams are going to come true, you're right, they are. Why would you be fearing your dreams coming true? Maybe it could be a bit too much too soon. And in a way, I sort of feel like that might have been the same for the person that you are in connection with. It could have all felt a bit too much too soon. I always say that relationships are only founded on two things, chemistry and timing. Clearly, there's a lot of chemistry here, but maybe the timing was off. Well, it's not going to be off. It's not off now. The timing is on. The chemistry won't have gone and the timing is on. This is now. All of your dreams are going to be coming true. Everything you've wished for is coming together for you. Wow. And you deserve it, because I feel like you've been through it feels to me like you've been through a very, very difficult time. I think lots of people might not know that. That feels quite secret to me, that you've been struggling. with this heartbreaking energy. And, you know, it's time you heard from them, actually. You're manifesting it. Things are moving forward because you've made it so. I mean, if we look at these two cards together, my goodness, the overall energy is communication and manifestation, and your wishes are coming true. I mean, wow. So if you've been wishing to hear from this person, that is happening. You've made it happen. And do you know how I think you've made it happen? I think you might have made it happen by not communicating with them and by getting on with things. And, you know, you put them to the back of your mind and you've just got on with life and made the best of things and tried to be well and tried to sort your job out and your house out and all the rest of it, and tried not to focus missing somebody. And I think you've done that really, really well. And because you've been focusing on you, I think that is bringing in communication from them. That's what that is. That is brilliant. So you should really give yourself a pat on the back there, because that's not easy to do, to stay out of communication with somebody that you really want to be communicating with. Yeah. We're definitely getting some communication coming in. Right, outcome. 4 of Swords, brilliant. So your heartbreak, your heartbroken self is recovering and repairing, and reconnecting as well. Resting, rejuvenating, and you're repairing from your broken heart. Because actually it's time, regardless of whether this partnership comes about, it's time to heal your heart anyway. I have to say, with a little caveat there, I'm not sure that you would ever go back to being how you were before you met them, because the strength of connection is too big and it's not possible. The only way you can repair your broken heart from the fact that you're not in connection with them is that you become reconnected again. So that just feels very, very right to me. And if you have been ill, or you've had surgery, or you've had an accident, or you've been struggling in some physical or emotional or mental way, then that's also a really good sign, because what came with it, you can't get better, is the Empress. You're recovering to become an even better version of yourself than you were before. I mean, this is such a positive reading. To say we started off with cards of heartbreak and despondency, this is an absolutely brilliant outcome. You're repairing from something that had left you feeling quite low, and you're getting back into your very, very best energy. Now that's wonderful, and I would normally leave the reading there, but I had to take 3 extra cards. Don't ask me why, I just needed them. And so our 3 extra cards are 7 of Swords, this is a secret energy. King of Pentacles, this is a man who knows his own worth. This is a man who is stepping into his own power. This is a man who is stable, financially secure. This is a very steady energy. And we have strength. So if I look at these 3 cards together, I think that the situation you might have been in partnership with might have been secret. And I think that person struggled with their ego quite a lot. I think maybe you stepped back from the relationship and said, I don't want to be a secret. I want this to be a real relationship. And I think that that person that you were connected with struggled with that and let the connection go. But I think that now they are coming into their best energy. They've stepped into their best energy because they don't want to be without you. I mean, I'm not saying that the King of Pentacles is the Emperor, but he's as close as you can get to the Emperor, in my opinion. And this is also a Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo man. So if you have been in connection with one of those signs, you know what? Let's go back right to the start. Maybe he's younger than you, and maybe he was a little bit flighty, but, you know, only in it for fun. If that was the sort of energy, then that has changed. He's changed a lot because he wants to be properly connected with you. So he's done quite a lot of growing up, I think, in order to reconnect with you, which is brilliant. I'm really, really delighted with that. I'm very happy with this reading in general. The only thing I'm wondering now is, I would like a timing card. This is a reading for the next 4 to 6 weeks. I would like to know, when are we going to be getting some communication? We're definitely getting it. You've manifested it. Right, so let's ask, when will communication be coming in? The man who's stepping into his own power. Oh, yeah, it's another offer. This is a tangible offer. That does not give me timing though. So it's that, to me, that means that man knows it's time to make an approach. Oh yeah, his intuition is on point for sure. He knows he has to make a reconnection because in this card, we've got both these cards already. In the Five of Cups, we have the Three of Cups kicked over and the Two of Cups still standing. So he's in an energy of knowing that he's not happy without you. But we're still asking for a timing card. He's obsessed with you, I think. It's an obsessive energy. You see, for timings in the Celtic cross, timings are the last card normally. Well, the last card I took was the Four of Swords. That would be 4 days. And then I took an extra one, which is the Seven of Swords. That would be 7 days. So that's like that's this week. I mean, we've already had the 3 and the 6 of Swords here. Because in terms of timing, that's not a timing card. That's not a timing card. Nor is that. Nor is the Empress, the Star. We've got the Four of Wands, that's a month. The Eight of Wands, that's 2 months. We've also got another day's card. We've got the Eight of Swords. It feels to me like this is coming in really soon. Really, really soon. Well, he's making an approach. Now he's single. That's interesting. Maybe he wasn't single before. Perhaps this man is newly single. Definitely making an approach, but it's a slow approach. I think he's cut himself off from something. He might have got divorced. We might be going through a divorce and he might be sending you an apology. We're still not getting a timing card though. It's a big love. It's divinely presented love. He knows it's the real thing. It's causing upset and anxiety, sleepless nights, and it could be in 9 days. So this is, I think this is as close as we're going to get to timing. It's in a matter of days. I think I'm going to leave it there. Wow, Aries, what a reading. Reconnecting with somebody that you had an extremely strong connection with. That person knows now what the deal is. And all your wishes are going to come true. Wonderful. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe so that I can read your energy more easily in the future. And if you would like a personal reading, my information is in the description box below. But until the next time, this has been the Timeless Tarot. Goodbye.